Recently, the 10-member regional bloc ASEAN completed 50 years of its formation. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations was established on 8 August 1967 in Bangkok, Thailand, with the signing of the Bangkok Declaration by the founding fathers of ASEAN, namely Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. The organization was formed in a period of strife in the region, with the ongoing Vietnam War in its backdrop and the fall of Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia to communist regimes. It therefore aimed to promote peace and security in Southeast Asia and foster economic development and cooperation among member nations. Since its establishment, it has expanded to include Brunei Darussalam, which joined in 1984, Vietnam in 1995, Laos and Myanmar in 1997, and Cambodia in 1999, making up what is today the 10 member states of ASEAN. With a combined GDP of $2.5 trillion in 2014 and a population of 625 million, this bloc is touted to collectively become the fifth largest economy in the world by 2020. Also, despite the uncertainties during its formation, it has turned out to be a better forum than EU, which was otherwise touted as the best for regional cooperation. However, ASEAN's next 50 years will take place in a wholly new geopolitical, economic, and environmental context. The solutions previously used by other countries are no longer feasible in a world marked by increasing interdependence, growing disparities, environmental degradation, climate change, and increasingly strict resource constraints. So, what are the expected challenges for this region? On the geopolitical front, territorial disputes in the South China Sea have created deep divisions, and the intensifying geopolitical rivalry between the US and China poses a further threat to cohesion. Another geopolitical tripwire in the region could emerge over the relationship between China and India. If ties between Beijing and New Delhi do not improve, ASEAN countries could also suffer gravely, with many of them having close ties with both India and China. Moreover, both India and China are important trade partners for ASEAN. China-ASEAN trade is expected to reach $1 trillion by 2020 from the current $400 billion. India-ASEAN exports amount to $80 billion currently and are expected to reach $280 billion by 2024. ASEAN must thus remain on good terms with both powers in order to remain relevant on the global stage. On the environmental front, forest cover has gone down from 72% in 1970 to 42% today, leading to environmental degradation. Another challenge is that of urbanization. When ASEAN was formed, only 1/4 of the population stayed in urban areas. Now, the numbers are equal, and according to projections, will be majority urban by 2025. The cities are not built to handle such large populations, and infrastructure, including public social services such as education and healthcare, are heavily stressed. Finally, the bloc has to handle the paradox of young population in some countries and aging population in some. Education and creation of jobs for the younger ones and pension and healthcare for the elder ones need to be taken care of. Coincidentally, this year also marks 25 years of dialogue partnership between India and ASEAN, 15 years of summit-level interaction, and 5 years of strategic partnership. Post the Cold War, the then Indian PM Narasimha Rao launched the Look East policy, which culminated in great success, with India becoming a sectoral dialogue partner of ASEAN in 1992, a full ASEAN dialogue partner, and also a member of the ASEAN Regional Forum in 1996. Under the current Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India's Look East policy has shifted to Act East in 2014.
तो हमने लुक ईस्ट कहा था, लेकिन आज मोदी जी के समय में एक्ट ईस्ट करने का काम आ गया है। अब लुक ईस्ट से काम नहीं चलेगा, अब एक्ट ईस्ट करना होगा।
Together, India and ASEAN account for almost 1/3 of the global population and a combined GDP of approximately $3.8 trillion. Also, fulfillment of India's geostrategic interests in the Indo-Pacific region depends on India's bilateral and regional engagements with the countries in the region, which assumes greater significance in the context of an increasingly assertive China. That is why maintaining cordiality with ASEAN as an organization on one hand and with the individual Southeast Asian nations on the other hand remains crucial for India. Soft power, intra-regional tourism, educational cooperation, and the Indian diaspora in Southeast Asia needs to be explored, who can play the role of a bridge connecting the two regions.